There was another 2 seed that fell in the Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament for Division One women's basketball. It is from the exact same conference, the SEC. I apologize for looking at them because I cannot memorize all this stuff. 2 seed LSU lost to 3 seed Duke last night, 87-85. I did say Duke has been playing a lot better since that 3-6 start to the season. They clearly wanted revenge against LSU. After all, Duke's only loss at home was to this LSU squad. Obviously, LSU's season is done 29-6 overall, while Duke is 27-8 overall. The next game for Duke, it's going to be a potential tougher one than this LSU one. I'm just being honest. It's against 1 seed UCLA tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Time on ABC. And LSU was favored in this game by 9.5. They clearly did not cover it. In fact, they flat out lost the game. And the tricky spot is, no matter who was going to win, you're practically going to play UCLA at UCLA, because when you look at the distance, UCLA is closer to Sacramento than either one of these two. I'm just saying. And you could tell one thing, that LSU women's basketball, ever since that great run to the national champion, to win the national title for the 2022-2023 season, they have regressed, to say the least. Because it's like Elite 8, and now Sweet 16. And if we're being honest, when they won the national title, they were very fortunate, to say the least, because they barely beat Utah in the Sweet 16. Then they got to face a lot easier matchup in the Elite 8 with 9 seed Miami, Florida at the time. They also beat Virginia Tech, but then, in the same Final Four, Iowa had to play play the best game of their lives in order to beat South Carolina that year. And honestly, LSU won against Iowa, so you guys get the point. And we all know Kim Mulkey is up there in age now, like terribly old. She's like 63. But you cannot deny, probably what I would think within maybe 5 years, or if you want to go longer, like 7 or 8, okay. But I think she's going to retire at LSU, then take another job. Let's just be honest. And obviously, you know what happened the year after they won the national title. They had a rematch with Iowa for the 2024 NCAA tournament. Iowa beat them that year. And obviously, they faced UCLA that year, the following year in 2025 NCAA tournament, and they lost that game. They wanted revenge from the year prior in the Sweet 16, and they did that. So you guys could tell that there's a little bit of regression right there, and I might as well just go over the game first, then go over like the seniors and the recruiting class for LSU after I went over this upset loss for LSU. It's not like they got blown out, to say the least, because as you could tell, it was a close game. So at halftime, Duke was actually up 47-40. Second half, Duke scored 40 points exactly. LSU scored 45. There's more to the game than that, though. I need to go last minute game. This is besides the stats, of course. And if I were to say Duke would have won a high scoring game, I would have said, "You're kidding me, right?" Because you know LSU has firepower on offense. So yeah, I didn't expect. This game was definitely in the 90s. I think LSU would have won this game. I'm just being honest. I thought the best way for Duke to win was keep it in the 50s. Let alone they couldn't keep it in the 50s in the almost in the 50s in the first half alone. Maybe even in the 60s to give a better chance. Or 70s, I wasn't sure, but 80s, I was not thinking that at all. So all the credit to Duke. Okay, so first of all, I need to say like 103 left in the game. Michaela Williams made a floating jump shot for LSU to make it 84-83 in around 46 seconds left. Toby Fournier missed a layup, but it was blocked by Kate Koval from LSU. Duke got the offensive rebound, but there was a turnover by Toby Fournier, which was stolen by Malaysia Folwiley, and she missed a layup around 37 seconds left. And Toby Fournier got the defensive board, and obviously Flau'jae Johnson fouled around 19 seconds left. And Ashlyn Jackson went to the line. She did not extend the lead. In fact, she missed both free throws. And LSU got the defensive board. Technically, it must have went out of bounds. And Duke tried to challenge it, try to get back to their possession, but it was upheld on the court. So they were charged with the timeout, and obviously LSU called timeout right away. Flau'jae Johnson missed a layup around 9 seconds left, which was blocked by Toby Fournier. But Michaela Williams got the offensive board, and foul was called on Jordan Wood from Duke. It's like, you don't have to foul. Just play straight up defense. And Michaela Williams, she made both to give LSU the late lead, 85-84. And Duke did call timeout. Tiana Mayer missed a three around 6 seconds left. But Duke got the offensive rebound, or it must have been out of bounds, but then Duke called timeout, and obviously LSU had to call timeout. And Ashlyn Jackson for Duke was the hero in this game for them. She made a three at the buzzer, which was assisted by Jordan Wood, to make it 87-85, and LSU did not have another shot because, the clock ran out. Now, LSU shot 46% from the field on 71 attempts, 38% on threes, but that's on 8 attempts. 94% on free throws on 17 attempts. Even if you made that last the other free throw, it would not have mattered. You would have lost. They did have 41 rebounds, 15 offensive, 8 assists, 11 turnovers, 3 steals, 6 blocks, 19 fouls. How many points off the bench? Malaysia Folwiley had 28 points. Amaya Joyner with 9 points. Grace Knox with 7. So that's 16 plus 28. That's 44 bench points right there, and 3 double-digit scores that they combined for. Okay. I kind of mentioned Malaysia Folwiley, but Flau'jae Johnson had 13, and Michaela Williams had 22 points, so that's 35 plus 28. $63 points right there. And there were 3 players scored 6 points in this game for LSU. Amaya Joyner with 9, Grace Knox with 7, and Jada Richard with 6. I know Zakiya Johnson, she only played 6 minutes in this game, but she had 2 fouls. I guess they decided not to play her, or she was hurt. I don't know. Yeah, she did not, and she was like the double-digit score for them. And there's obviously Kate Koval, who had 0 points in this game. She averages like 8 points per game in the game, usually. Now, Duke only had 13 bench points. Jordan Wood with 4 points. Ariana Roberson got 9 points, but it was inefficient. 4 for 12 from the field, 1 for 4 on threes, but she did have 10 rebounds, so a double-double right there. So, 3 double-digit scores occurred in the game. Tiana Mayer with 22 points, 8 for 18 from the field, 4 for 10 on threes, 2 for 2 on free throws. And then there's obviously Toby Fournier with the near double-double, 22 points and 9 rebounds. And Ashlyn Jackson with 19 points. So that's 44 plus 19. That's 63 points right there and 2 players scored 67 points this game. I mean, Delaney Thomas with 7 points and Ariana Roberson with 9. That's 16. And Duke didn't shoot the ball as good as LSU, 42% on 73 attempts. They didn't shoot as good from 3 compared to LSU, but they had more volume. 27% on 26 attempts. 78% on free throws on 23 attempts. That's 5 misses, by the way. Maybe you got off the hook this time, but if next game against UCLA, you got to play a little bit better. They did actually have the same amount of rebounds as LSU, 41. But here's the difference. 20 of those were offensive rebounds. 16 assists, 11 turnovers, 8 steals, 6 blocks, 16 fouls. Yeah. Now I'm going to go points out turnovers, points in the paint, fast break points as well. Points out turnovers were actually the same, 10 apiece. Fast break points favored Duke, 13-4, and obviously points in the paint favored LSU, 52-38. I already kind of mentioned the next game for Duke. It's going to be a tougher one, and honestly for LSU. And I know there's Divine Burridge. Obviously, she did not travel due to concussion protocol. But even then, it would not have made much of a difference. She averages just like 2 points per game. But it's still another player on the bench you could go to. And I know they did lose 2 staff members to Rutgers. Obviously, one of them is the Rutgers head coach. But you can't deny the opportunity. Obviously, like, I know there's Izzy Besselman, but for LSU, she's going to be gone. But she didn't do a lot, but more like a leadership role, I would say. There's obviously Kaylin Gilbert. They're going to lose. Felicia Johnson. Yeah, that's a big loss right there. And Amaya Joyner. Somewhat of a loss. They only have like 1 recruit coming in for next year. So we're going to have to honestly wait and see what they're going to do in the offseason with the assistant coaches situation and transfer portal. Not just additions, but maybe subtractions. We'll have to wait and see, though. So anyways, if you like this content, hit the like, subscribe button. See you guys later on. Reddit 8 unsubscribes, course, ultimate goal is 1,000 more. Some of my month, this course, live convo really helps YouTube background. Some more people see us, and the video does help as well. Some more people could watch, and if you're watching and not subscribed, hit subscribe button, hit free, hit the notification bell as well. And I already know Kim Mulkey already said, I'm not retiring. I know, like right after the game. So that addresses for next year, I would think. It's more like down the line, you know she's going to retire. It's more like when is she going to retire?